Toma time! What is going on, guys? Toma Tales here, and I know it's been a while. Who cares? Whatever. Let's talk about some shit that's been happening in my life, guys. I've had so many distractions, and I honestly let it get to me to a point where I wasn't even uploading YouTube videos. I did get a 7-day ban on YouTube, which is what started everything, to be honest, of my lack of consistency lately. And then I went on vacation twice, so I'm back. There's been so much shit happening, and it has all to do with women. Like, I've been seeing a lot of women, and with that has been a lot of drama. But today I want to talk about a specific girl that I actually invested some time with. I don't want to date, unless it's the one in a million, whatever. It's hard to find a quality woman, in my opinion. I'm picky. And so, but this girl, okay, let's start at the beginning. We're gonna call her Kay. I matched with her on Tinder about 2 months ago, okay? And super cute girl, very attractive. Like, she had that look where I was like, okay, like, even though her profile says long-term partner, I'm still gonna, I'm gonna see what's up with this girl. So we match, and we start to talk, and she tells me that she has a child. So she has a kid, she's 4 months old, and she's 20 years old. And, she's like, I can't just cuddle with someone that I don't know. I can't just do any of these things. Like, I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for something serious. After my baby, I just don't sleep around, blah, blah, blah. And we started talking for about a month and a half, 2 months straight, just texting each other. And recently, we actually met in person. Now, the first time we met, she brought the child with. I went to her house. She doesn't have a great family, and she doesn't have a lot of money. Her car broke down. All these things, okay? So I pick her up, and first she was like, I don't want the baby to come with, but the more comfortable she got with me, she was like, okay, yeah, is it okay if I bring the baby? And I was like, sure, whatever. I've never done this before. Let's see what it is. Let's see what a 20-year-old MILF is like, to get some experience. So we hang out. Honestly, it was a great time. Good vibes. Nice girl. Very sweet. One of those sweet, loving girls that just wants to, hug you. So we hang out once. Then a couple days later, we hang out again. And now I need to tell you that she is the only girl that I really wasn't truthful with. Every single girl I have hookups with, I tell them I'm a slut, okay? I tell them my body count's around 70, 80. I don't even know. And, they don't really care because we're having a hookup and I treat them good. But with this girl, I knew, and she told me she hates sluts. And so I just kept that information away from her, and I acted myself. And, yeah, yesterday, it all just went to shit. So let me give you the story, okay? So she ends up coming over to my house yesterday with her child again because her friend was too drunk and couldn't watch over her child. She had planned to give it to her best friend. We'll call her B. She was going to let B watch her child, but B was getting super drunk, which she always does, and she had some guy over, and they were getting drunk together, and the dude was doing ketamine, and that type of crowd. And the first red flag with Kay was that she had a child, and the second red flag was her friends that I just mentioned. B, she drinks every day almost, and 7 days a week, whatever. She hangs out with guys. She's told me that her friend B has 2 kids. She's 20 as well, and she fucks so many guys. She fucks guys twice a day. These are the things she's telling me. I'm like, that was the second red flag. So B comes over, and B has her new fuck buddy with, and they drive her, and she comes over with her child. So we hang out, and it's chill, it's whatever, but at the same time her baby's there. And so it's kind of a weird feeling. It's like we can't really, really do too much of like connecting. And the thing is, like, I didn't really care to fuck Kay. Like, I just really liked her personality. She was super sweet girl, super loving. So it wasn't even that feeling like I have with every other hookup. Like, I'm just gonna fuck the shit out of you, and then we can move on and have our happy days. I actually just enjoyed hanging out with her and talking to her and these things. And so that's what we were doing. But she came over at around 5:36. And at 7:38, I just realized I am not feeling this. Her friends are not my people. They're not, and her baby and her. I'm just thinking in my head, like, yeah, I'm not feeling this anymore. And now I already know this girl was super into me. She caught feelings for me. We talked for about 2 months. She really liked me. And she showed me a lot of love. Like she did things for me. Like she would Uber to my work just to see me. She would have her friends drive me. She would do everything just to see me. And so I'm thinking, I'm on the couch with her and her baby, and I'm like, I'm just not feeling this. And instead of just ghosting her like most people do, I was like, I told her, I'm like, hey, I just don't think this is gonna work out. Like, I'm not really feeling this whole thing. And yeah, so I tell her that straight to her face, because I'm at least mature like that. Like, I can be a dickhead, but I'm gonna always try and keep it honest and truthful. If I'm not feeling you anymore, I'm not just gonna drag you along. So I tell her that, and she's like, oh, like, what's wrong, blah, 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 this, and that. And she's like, oh, so, like, my friend, B was right the whole time, like, you were just a slut. She was constantly telling me, you're not different than anyone else. You're a slut, and I was the one telling her that, no, he's different, and she's like, so you're a slut, and these things, and I eventually, yeah, I tell her, like, yeah, like, I am a slut. I'm a whore. I sleep around a lot. She just keeps wanting to know more and more, and it turns out just a bad conversation. Even though she was upset with me, like, she told me, like, she just wants to hit me in the face. You could tell in her eyes, like, oh my god, like, her eyes, like, different, but you could still tell in her eyes she just fucking loved me. Like, she still looked at me like she just, really cared for me, and we, it was cool. Like, we kind of smoothed it over, but once I gave her my truth, once I told her that, yeah, I was sleeping with girls, like, probably 10 girls, different girls, while we were talking for those 2 months, and that I am a slut, and these things, that's when the truth came out about her. She wanted revenge. She wanted to make me feel how she was feeling, even though I had no intentions of hurting her feelings. She wanted the truth, and I told her, and out of nowhere, after I told her the truth, she started telling me her truth, which was so unexpected. Now, let me tell you, she has a baby daddy. One baby daddy that I know of. Okay? And that's the baby daddy of her child. And she told me she hadn't had sex since last year, like November. And the last guy she fucked was her baby daddy last year. But she hasn't seen anyone. She hasn't been talking to her baby daddy at all. All these things to make me feel like, damn, this could be a quality woman. She literally told me she has 7 bodies, which for 20 years old, it's too much. That's why I honestly, I was never going to pursue her. I just liked hanging out with her. She was a cool girl. But whatever, she told me she had 7 bodies, and she told me she was done with her baby daddy, this, and that. But after I told her what I was like, she literally told me, yeah, I also have 2 kids, not just 1. And you remember the day before when I didn't text you for a few hours and I told you I was spring cleaning? I was actually hanging out with a guy. And she also told me, and I fucked my baby daddy a month ago. And I'm like, I could just see it on her face, the way she's telling me. She's got a little smirk on her face. You know how girls, when they want to hurt you because they feel hurt themselves, they give you that little smirk and just evilness comes out? She was doing all of that, and I was like, okay, like, I just told her, like, okay. So, about the other night, did you do anything with that guy that you were with? And she was like, no. I've known him since, like, 2017. So I'm like, okay, so you didn't do anything with him, but you were hanging out with him. Baby daddy, I fucked a month ago. I was like, you told me you hadn't, you guys had each other blocked and you hadn't seen him. She's like, no, I still fuck him sometimes, this, and that. And I'm like, and shit, another child? She has another child with another baby daddy. 2 baby daddies is what I found out. And I'm just like, holy shit. That really just came out of nowhere. And I took it all in, and it was what it was. But then I was just thinking, what if I was like so many of the other guys who are genuinely looking for a girl, who catch feelings easily, and who want a relationship, and who, are willing to do these things, which I'm not, which is why I was okay. I didn't really care that she said all these things to me, but imagine you were pursuing a woman. And this is a #1 reason why you don't pursue women with baggage, with children, with body counts that are somewhat high. 7 for 20 years old, that's high. And she has baggage, and it just showed that if you really wanted to be with this girl, and you pursued her, and you guys had an argument, her baby daddy is one call away from getting her fucked You know what I'm saying? You will always be in a shitty situation with a girl that has baggage. She has 2 baby daddies who she can fuck whenever she wants, and she has a bunch of dudes, I noticed, that she would ask for rides and Uber rides and all these things, whatever. And yeah, I didn't pay for her Uber ride here. I told her no. And so when it was time, we said our truth. We weren't on bad terms, like we were still like hugging and stuff like that. It was weird, because after I told her all these things, she was like, you fucking like wasted my time. Like, we could have just fucked and got it over with. Like, do you want to just fuck? I'm like, no, like, I really don't want to just fuck you right now. Like, I don't. Like, this is weird. Like, I like to hook up with girls because I don't know them and I don't care about them and I don't give a fuck about their past, their history, nothing. We just fuck. But with this girl, she was like a very sweet girl, like a loving girl. Like, I could actually, you know, somewhat be like, yeah, this girl's super cool. Like, yeah. But then to find out, like, all these things that, you know, she was lying to me. She has 2 children. She fucked her baby daddy a month ago while we were talking. I'm just like, no, like, this is weird. Like, I don't want to fuck you. I don't want to fuck you. No. And I told her, like, she needs to leave. I told her that at about 8 o'clock. You know, I wasn't feeling it. Can you please find a ride home at about 9? And you might say, why not get her a ride home? Because the first time we met, this girl lives 35 minutes away. I went out of my way to drive to her and see her, and I went back. I have a car. I'm responsible. I have a job. I have money. I don't have kids. So it's on her. I told her that. She asked me if I could pay for her Uber to get here before she even got here, and I just straight up said, N-O, no. And she said, oh, okay, I'll have my friend drive me. I was like, cool. But I told her, I got a way to you, so you got to find a way to me and back. So I'm telling her I'm not going to get her a ride home, and that's when she calls her friend B, and her friend B is fucking drunk, and with that guy who's on ketamine, and they end up getting on a phone call, and during this phone call, they're just talking so much shit about me. Her friend is like, yeah, fuck that guy, I told you how he was, you know, all these dudes are all the same, and they heard my voice, and they were making fun of my voice, like, princess, and this dude sounds fucking soft. And the dude that's her current week fuck buddy of the week was going crazy. He's like, yeah, I'll fucking shoot his house up. I'll fucking run the ones with him. I'll beat his ass, this and that. I'm just listening to this quiet. You know, I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. Already on top of the insane shit that happened like maybe 4 days before this, that's even probably crazier. This is just not, I just don't know what the fuck's going on at this point. So they talking crazy, talking so much shit about me. The dude sounds black. I thought he was black. He's dropping the N-word. She's dropping the N-word. B is dropping the N-word. I'm just, whatever. I'm like, they get off the phone and they're going to come pick her up. Because, in truth, I told her, we're not having sex. And I was horny. We drank a little bit and I wanted to fuck. So I told her, like, respectfully, can you leave by 10? Because I have something, I need to leave. She's like, what do you need to do? What do you need to do? And I told her, I have a bitch coming over. I have a girl coming over to fuck. That, obviously, she didn't like that, and she was like, I'll fucking beat that girl's ass. Like, if I see her, I'm literally fighting her, whatever. It didn't come to that, but, yeah. Dude pulls up with her friend, and I get a knock on the door, and I'm like, okay, let's see what this is all about. They're talking about shooting up the house, talking about fighting me, whatever. I go straight to the door. I open the door. I see this 20-year-old kid, white. He was white. I had no idea. He sounded black. He was white with curly hair. You know how those white guys who try to be ghetto and black have that curly hair? He was about 5'9", regular build. And he's standing in front of my door. I open the door. And I'm just looking at him. And the first thing I do is I open the door. And I just push him out of the way. Like, this dude is at my door talking shit before he even sees me. So I just open the door. And as I'm opening, I put my body on him. I'm just moving him out of the way. And I'm like, back up. Like, back up. Back up. I'm telling him back up. And I could tell this dude was not about anything. He did not want to fight me. I just made him back up, and then he's like, oh, why the fuck are you making me back up? Whatever, just said something like that. And then he's like, yo, after the girl with the baby comes out of my house, he's like, yo, we can run the ones right now. We can fight in your yard right now. I'm like, I would do that right now if I knew you didn't have a gun. I can tell you're probably carrying a gun. Like, you probably play with that shit. And he's like, yeah, I do have a gun. I don't play with it. I shoot guns. And he's like, you want me to flash it? And he flashes his gun a little bit on his waist. I'm like, that's... I hate nowadays that no one can just have a fair fight. Everyone's got guns. Whatever. I'm just like, cool, man. Sure. You obviously don't want to fight. You have a gun. I'm not going to fight you. And they leave. And I hug Kay before she leaves, and after she leaves, I have a girl come over about 10 minutes after, and then Kay starts texting me, and she says, I'm quite sad. I wish I hugged you tighter. It's ridiculous. And I said, you know, and then she says, did you think about me while you were fucking her? I said, that's fucking crazy. She sends me a video of her tits, which she's never done before, because I wasn't really asking for that shit. Like, it was more of a non-sexual relationship, like just us trying to get to know each other. And, you know, before she left, she was like, I need to fucking drink. I need to get fucking drunk. I need to fuck my baby daddy tomorrow. I'm gonna fuck him tomorrow. Saying all these crash out things. And, yeah. I haven't texted her all day today, which, honestly, it's been a little tough. We texted for 2 months straight. It's like I lost my favorite toy. Like, literally. but that shit's crazy. Fucking talking about shooting my house up. Dude pulls up. Yeah. It just shows you, man, if you mess with a girl with this much baggage, there's always going to be secrets, and there's always going to be a guy she can fuck as soon as you upset her. And that's the lesson of today. I fucked around with a 20-year-old MILF who went from 1 kid to 2 kids, and still fucks her baby daddy, who sees guys. Shit, I'm a slut, but at least when I'm ready to date, I don't have emotional baggage. I don't have someone I've known for years, a girl that I have connections with, a baby with. I can cut all that shit off when I'm ready to date, because I have no feelings for my hookups. And she can't do that because she has 2 baby daddies that she loved. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Bye.